I can't breathe in this thing.
Well, we're not quite another big flashy number, but we're getting close. However, this stuff is cooling off a lot faster than I expected it to. This is 1407 here. Barely 100 degrees from the other end of the map. And then at under 1400 it turns into igneous rock, right? One thing that's actually kind of keeping this from piling up too bad is that this airlock seems to work like a choke. Right, so down here we're losing. How fast are we losing temperature here? 1350, 21. Yeah, 21 seems to be about the norm all the way up to here. And then we go from 700 to 249 and then back to the 20 or whatever. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a dupe come down. We're going to move this door up to here. If this door is going to decide to stay at 249 or a little higher, next step will be 230 and then that's 215. And there's a big drop. Like this is what, 40? Yeah, about 40 degrees right there. Simply because the amount of heat being pulled out of everything by all these turbines. It may accelerate the end of this little project here, which is unfortunate. I kind of knew this wasn't going to last forever. But we're going to try to milk a bit for what we're worth. And what I don't know how I've missed this. I'm so used to simply encasing turbines in insulated tiles and walking away from them, when I could have put a door on the end and a power station and had these guys all got NG's tune-up, because they never shut off. Right, like everything else up here, right? That's got it. That's got it. That's got it. These are all spread out because for a little while, if I had two generators in a room, only one of them ever seemed to get tuned up, and the rest wouldn't. I think it's because the dupe would be halfway through it, and then the smart battery would shut it off, and he would just drop everything he's doing and walk away, and then never come back to finish the job. That's my assumption on that. But because these are meant to run essentially forever, I do believe I kind of screwed myself on a lot of free power by not giving these a power station. That said, none of the other... Let's go all the way up here. None of the other ones of these are running anywhere close to capacity. These guys here, they've been running about that temperature for days. Not cycles, days. That guy hits about 500. Could squeeze another 200 and some out of there. These have almost never gone off. You know that? I just totally decided to brute force the cooling in this room. And what happens is he spits out a bit of stuff. It overpressures. The steam hits 112 or 113 and nothing kicks in. So I have to find other ways to cool things off to drop the pressure down. It's like, oh, that worked just great. This guy here, he barely ever... He runs for a bit and then turns off again. And then this one up here, This guy here is run almost constant, pretty much constantly. Not making a lot, because I had to set this guy so he would stop overheating and breaking himself. But I could have legitimately built a room, thrown on an atmosuit checkpoint, and wrangled a bit more power out of them. Next time, I'm not gonna this world's a little long in the tooth to start doing all this kind of stuff. So, next time I play through, I'll definitely do that. Plus, in a situation where the turbines overheat, I'll have a door, right? I'll have a way in. I'll have a liquid walk I can pop in, cool these things, like run piping better to cool these things off. In other news, because I like critters so much, and I needed some oxalite, I'm actually making quite a bit. The misery farm is obviously not keeping up production because, well, it's a misery farm. These guys here are just fine. And it's given me enough that when someone gets over here and digs all this nonsense out, I can send this rocket here to go pick up some fullerene, which means then I'll be able to make supercoolant, which means then I'll be able to make liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen, and I can go even further. Now, if I open this up, since the meteors haven't quite bludgeoned, they beat the tar out of this platform, like to the point where they broke one of them. We are at, if we look all the way up. That's the last thing to analyze. That should be the tear, right? That should be the tear? That should be the final goal? To send someone there? There's a lot of weird stuff up here. Like magma. Fullerene, pyrite. More stuff. I'm trying to use the calculator to figure out how much a band was nothing. A couple of them. What it would take to get to some of these places. And it gets kind of silly. It's like, oh, you can send like 2 cargo pods, an entire rocket worth of fuel there. And I'm like, okay, that gets me 2 tons of something. It better be something worthwhile. Like some of these, like, okay, getting a bunch of solid oxygen wouldn't be bad, right? Getting the max you get back is like 2 tons anyway. 32 tons, 600 pounds, 600 kilos of solid oxygen, which I could then figure out some way of just barely melting and getting a bunch of liquid oxygen. Barely melting. There's a bit of a problem between things like that where it's like it's going to go from solid to liquid to gas. Well, fudge, missed it. That's it. I was going to try something stupid. We picked up almost a ton of solid methane. I don't dare bring it into the base because someone will put it into a bin and it'll poof into that, and that's what you're supposed to. You heat it up or cool it off to turn it into natural gas. In this game, I forget which. Natural gas itself is actually like methane and butane and a couple other things. I had a ticket for how to teach the propane pumping course. And yes, I did sell propane, but I did not sell propane accessories. So once these guys have this all cleaned off, what we have is, where are we here? Nails. You are assigned to this. Nails. Relatively recent duplicate. Right, nails. Came out of the box with a whole bunch of, just the appropriate set of skills. Came out of the box with a couple of the researches. I want to say rocket navigation. Let's go down here to the gate and check. They came out of the printer with I looked at the skills and yep, this person's doing this. Where are you? Ta-da-ta-da, Nicole, Nisbet, Auto. Hello? Nails. Yeah, check out those hearts. Research, astronomy, sustainability wearing, piloting and navigation. There is one thing this dupe was born to do, and that's get fired into space. It's well, guess what? You are now 100% being fired off into space every time because you have no other appreciable skills. Now that I've got everything in there, it says launch path blocked. Shouldn't be. You're supposed to skim the side of that. Unless the gantries are in the way. Let's find out. Will you let me do this? Click there. Launch mission. For real. What's in the way this time? Is it the gantries? Can't be the gantries. Well, I got everything else. Let's find out, shall we? I forgot to open the doors. Which is weird, because I opened them up for the telescope. But I guess I forgot to do that. Rocket, go. There. Fire. Watch. I'm going to melt all these wires and break a bunch of pipes. Broke something. Ah, I melted the switch. Okay, gonna move that switch over a little further. That's a lot of heat. We'll wait for it to come back, and yeah, I don't think the gantries were the problem. I think it was just the fact that I forgot to open the doors. Not expected to fry the automation wire, though. Or knock the switch off. Oh, well. Well, I guess the first thing I should do... I thought maybe that door was in the way. I guess it isn't. So while Nails takes their maiden voyage, I did decide to branch out into a little other ranching. These things... Oh yeah, there's an egg in there. I wasn't really paying attention when I built the room. Well, I'll build this. Hang on, that doesn't fit. I'll do blah, blah, blah. So now someone's got to sweep this egg up to get it out of there so they won't be cramped anymore. The rest of the eggs went in here. I didn't have this door over top it for the longest while. So the result is it's kind of calmed down now, but there was a severe Drekko infestation. There were like 7 or 8 of them walking around the outside here because they just walk out of the pit. And then they build up like this. I don't know how many are in there. Drekko, Drekko, Drekko. How many you got in there? At least 4. Yeah, they don't seem to drown the way everything else does, despite the fact that they're technically in water. All the hatches that show up, they auto harvest. Then I get to send someone down here to kill like 7 or 8 Drekkos in a row. Also made it over to this other oil well. The issue, oh, hang on. Oh, it's easier to move when I'm in pause. The issue then is that I already can't process what comes out of 2 wells. These things that say they're supposed to process like 10 kilos a second. And these guys are supposed to make 33. So by rights, the 3 of them should be making 10 liters a second, which should be 1 oil refinery. But it's not. It's backing up 2 of them. So in order, as much as I like to have a lot of stuff on hand, crude oil is not as good. And my first attempt at building a petroleum boiler was still technically a failure. I don't want to try to build another one, but gonna have to move the refineries, and I don't have a whole lot of real estate here. I have this space here, and this space here, and this might be where it goes. This is already a nice big chunk of space. It's all full of stuff I can use elsewhere. And then I've already got the atmosuit dock here, so as long as I get all this water out of here, I can move the refineries over. Which still doesn't leave a lot of other real estate, because I have to... Again, this is the issue with quote-unquote organic-based development. The way I think. I need this, okay, I'll put it here. I need this, I'll put it here. There's a couple of guys that play Oni that I watched a bit. Francis John being one of them. I understand why he guts the map to get everything and have all the room he needs to build stuff. But that, I don't know. This is a game about survival base building, right? And it just seems like when it comes to survival, you expand into spaces once you have the ability to expand into them. And because you're taking one step at a time, right? I'm talking with my hands again. Because you're taking one step at a time, you shouldn't plan as far ahead. Like if I just wanted a base that ran perfect, I would just play in sandbox mode. But instead, my tendency to shoehorn and wedge and and adapt as required results in me creating these kinds of messes. Now, I think I'm gonna have to start ripping things out and redoing a few things, mostly just to get me to the point where I can walk away from it for a little while and concentrate on rocketry. Right? So Nails is going to come back from wherever they went here, from here, with some fullerene. I got niobium from the last place. It's going to get us supercoolant. And then I can change the rocket out to hydrogen and liquid oxygen. And cut out a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, okay, we'll have a bunch of oxalate laying around because I decided to ranch puffs. Or maybe I just get a second rocket. I have the one long-range one to do all the scouting, and I use the current one to grab cargo until it's hit its range. And then it takes, what does it take? This has got nothing there I actually need. You, if I send, I'll get a bit of niobium every time. Ooh, and abyssalite. I need that, like a hole in the head. For you for fullerene, because this guy's already back up to maximum mass. He was the one I sent last time. So I could just short run stuff for niobium, right? Short run these two guys for stuff while the long range rocket heads up here. And then once I get up here, I don't really know what I need. Like slime, algae, gassy. Yeah, okay. I've seen what goes into gassy moo ranching. Forget it. Not a chance. Some of these places have minerals. I've already got a lot of. That would be nice to get a bunch of, was that liquid? Liquid hydrogen would be nice. Liquid natural gas, not so much. But the liquid, oh yeah, at that point I'm probably spending as much liquid hydrogen to get there as I'm getting back. Then places like this, depends what its solid resources are, because if I send this with just a solid cargo bay, I would only get niobium, right? At least that's the theory. Anyway, I gotta tear all that stuff apart. Nails is gonna go enjoy visiting space. I think I need to block this all off completely, mine out all this regolith, get the minerals for it, and definitely sweep up, and then something to do with all of this flippin' regolith. It's too hot to use as filtration medium. My dupes have tried that already. So why is this part of my base 180? Oh, right, because someone's a dumbass. And then this way, still got a long way to go. I still have to visit this graphitis structure. That's an achievement to there, right? Oh, what did I get? Hang on, I got... where's the achievements? Under... database? It's under... oh, I go to the gate. I got one I didn't expect. Where's the gate? Gate's right there. Colony summary. And any second now. Which one was it? It was... was it one of these? Renovations. Huh. No, okay. It's, I ran out of duplicates. I ran out of unique duplicates. Which means, like, oh, now we'll have to start printing doubles. Like, okay. I'm pretty sure I've got doubles of a couple of things. So what's Home Sweet Home do? Oh, I have to sustain morale. Yeah, that's going to be tough. Lindsay. 2 people short. And a great monument. So I suppose if I build the monument, that might help, right? Yeah, I'll just pick a spot that I'm not doing anything in. That's all nice and free to build a monument. I'll get back to you on that. We'll pencil that in for tomorrow, shall we? But yeah, got a bunch of work ahead of me. At least now it's like the end is like the light at the end of the tunnel is here, right? We've got this should be the tear. Still got a ways to go on it. And now it's just a matter of resources and keeping the place from caving in on itself any further than it already does. Which shouldn't be too difficult now. I say that. Tune in next time when we turn out and I've flatlined the battery or run out of oxygen or something again. It's always more disasters in the future, and I'll see you then.